Happy Sunday, Surgeaholics, Sooner Nation. Welcome to the Sooner Surge nightly live that we do each and every night, any day that ends with Y. We'll be on here at 9:30 for about an hour discussing all things Sooner sports. Right now, it's Sooner football. That's really the talk of everything, and specifically how bad the offense has been. And Jackson, I'm going to go ahead right now and just start with you. Okay, Jackson? Hawkins apparently played better all spring, summer, and fall, and doesn't start week one. Not sure how that makes sense. Where'd you see he played better all spring, summer, and fall? Just curious.
Well,
What's up, Jay?
Yeah, what's up, man? It's been a long weekend, bro. Uh, I, I we'll get into it with the Hawkins stuff. Okay, and he's dropped the answer in there for you, Jeremy. And I think the Damon's talking about Jacoby start playing on offense. I think that's also, I saw a post on Twitter from OU Insider about that. Guys, fine if you put Jacoby Johnson at wide receiver. That's not solving much, in my opinion. I mean, you can do it. He's a big receiver. I don't think that's going to solve a whole lot offensively. But DMAC confirmed today on the live Latrell hired to run Levy offense for Jackson Arnold.
We already, that's not rocket science. Everyone knew that.
Well, I have
everyone
issues.
knew that, Jay. That's why they hired Latrell.
I have issues with that.
Why? I have issues with.
I have issues. Here's what I have issues with. Tell me the difference of quarterback styles between Jackson Arnold and Michael Hawkins. They're not that much different in style, are they?
Hawkins is a little more faster, more escapability.
Okay, but as far as their game, it's not like Hawkins is not a thrower. He can throw the ball. He can run the ball, both, right? So,
yes.
To me, you hire an offensive coordinator, they run their offense. And if he's not running his offense and he's trying to run Levy's offense, that's a mistake from day one. That's an absolute mistake from day one.
Are you saying we've been speculating? What have we been speculating? Tell me what I've been speculating.
I think he's talking about the Levy offense deal.
Yeah, to me, and what Chester says, it doesn't even look like Levy. He's not running Levy's offense.
He might have been. Hey, he might have been told, "Hey, we're going to try to run something that fits Jackson Arnold." I understand that, and I think I did say earlier in the year that I don't know what he's running. Maybe he's running some of Levy's, some of his, but he's the OC. He needs to run his offense. I mean,
and Sooner fan, Arnold was a dual threat quarterback. That's really what he is. But hey, I'm going to say this. Crystal, you're talking about big commitments made to Arnold. Starting him was a guilt trip. I disagree. I'm going to say
I don't disagree. I don't. I mean,
I think Jackson Arnold got unbelievably lack of confidence since the bowl game, and he got way worse and was not the guy anyone thought he was going to be, Jay. But here's what I'm saying. Hawkins is going to change some things, but for everyone to say that Hawkins is the 100% cure for the offense, I think you've got blinders on.
Yeah, and Bobby says if Latrell agreed to run another coordinator's offense rather than his own, he's a fool, just set himself up for failure. I agree with that, Bobby.
He is faster than Arnold. Absolutely is.
And
more decisive.
Jay Johnson, this is an issue. I agree.
They do have a quarterback coach.
I've seen multiple things. Listen, I've seen multiple things. I've seen multiple things on Twitter that people that have sat right behind the OU bench. Jackson Arnold comes over to the sideline, throws his helmet down. Not one coach, Joe John Finley, nobody goes up to him, talks to him. Like, who's coaching him? Who's coaching him up over there? A graduate assistant? Is that what it is? I mean.
Yeah, Jay, it's bad. That's what it is.
Hey, here's the thing offensively. I mean, we can talk what they're running scheme-wise. It doesn't matter. Offensively, it's not good right now. People say it's not all on Latrell. Part of it's on quarterback. Yes, I agree. But who plays the quarterbacks? Who plays the O-lineman? Who plays the receiver? Who calls the plays? Who preps for the game? Who schematically figures out what to run against the defense? Who is that? That's the offensive coordinator.
Hey, Crystal, first off, Chief, you're right. The defense is elite. Tennessee arguably could be the toughest offensive opponent OU sees. There is a lot of season. OU's got to improve a whole lot. Jay, I got to get to Crystal, who said, basically, calling me out. Stop doubting what you see with your own dang eyes. What am
Hawkins is better than Arnold. Nobody's denying that. Hey, Talon. I want to get to Talon's. He's talking about it's so much better when the ball gets out quicker. I've rewatched the game. Jackson Arnold has I've said it probably for 3 games now. He misses reads on the read option on the runs. He does. It's like, and that's what's baffling me for the ones that are saying he's running Levy's offense and he's running the offense for Jackson Arnold that he ran at Denton Geyer. Jackson Arnold doesn't look like he knows what this offense is, does he?
No, Jay, there's nothing there. And
so if you're gonna run an offense for Jackson Arnold and you're gonna cater to his offense, then why does Jackson Arnold not look very good? Who does that fall on? Who does that fall on? It falls on Arnold, but it also falls on Seth Luttrell. The fact that Michael Hawkins did not get any reps in the first 3 games when they were not playing good offensively also falls on Seth Luttrell.
Yeah, and until Seth Luttrell scheme, the running schemes are awful. The running schemes are awful. And I agree with Bobby. Time's going to tell in 4 years what these guys are, 2 or 3 years. Hawkins is by far the best option for OU moving forward.
Yeah, I don't know why we're talking about Kel Gundy. Kel Gundy's not coming back to Oklahoma. I mean.
Yes, AI is on the chat, I believe. I think AI's on here. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not. The Kel stuff we don't even need to talk about. BV has to get involved in the offense. Do they fire Seth? Here's what I'll say. I don't think there's, although I talked to a few people today about reminiscent about the 2018 year when they got rid of Mike Stoops after the Texas game. Remember, they went on to make the playoff that year. They made changes. They didn't drastically improve on defense, but they got simpler and better. Listen, let me finish. I do not think they're going to fire Seth Luttrell midseason. I don't think so. Unless you throw a few more bad games out, like worse than this. But here's the thing. I think he is definitely coaching for his job at the end of the year. If you get to game 12 or 13 and they look like this, I don't see why they would bring him back.
Hey, Jay, I think they could fire him. I think they could fire him tomorrow. I don't think they will, but they could. You have a bye week after Auburn.
But who you fire him, who's going to coach, Jeremy? Joe John?
No, Jay, I don't think they're going to. I'm saying they could.
Yeah, they're not going to. He's got till the end of the year. And here's the thing. Whatever you think about Seth Luttrell right now, I like Seth Luttrell. Is he the right fit? Doesn't look like it, but we'll see. Whatever you think of Seth Luttrell, if at the end of the year they improve a lot and they look a lot better, he's coming back. Okay, this is kind of like his chance to. But you got to show something creativity on offense, and you got to scheme better than they're doing.
Jay, you talked about, and did you see Joe Klatt's tweet? Because I didn't. I didn't.
What did you say
on Joe Klatt's tweet? But Jay,
yeah,
you said he's coaching for his job. So's BV. BV may have to make a decision to keep his job.
You mean to get rid of Seth, or
yes?
Kind of like, is it almost like a Bob Stoops fall on the sword type deal?
Maybe.
Jackson said OU defense elite and OU offense sucks.
Who?
I mean, I guess Joe Klatt said that. The offense.
And duh. Jeez.
I mean, that's
what. Oh, crown Joe Klatt. He's amazing. What?
What would you do if Saturday they roll out Arnold to start?
Jay, they're not.
I'm asking.
And I got to get to this because I know someone mentioned the Mark Rogers stuff. And Jay, you told me this, I think it was last night, that Jim Traber mentioned that it's shocking what you're going to hear.
Yeah, I said that. I wonder what that's going to be too. You know, Kale's on that show with Mark Rogers. I will say that.
Kale was on there last night, Jay.
Oh, was he?
Yes.
Okay, let me get to this. Trap House, thanks for joining. Says before Seth can show creativity, he has to first establish an identity in offense. And this is where I'm going back to. Who does that fall on? We all talk about, is he running Levy's offense? Is he running Seth's offense? Guys, look in the mirror. That's Seth Luttrell's fault. Whatever he's running, if he has no identity, I mean, let's just say, okay, maybe as an OC, you're up there and you're like, we don't have the O line to run what I want to run. Well, I tell you what, they shouldn't be running up the middle against Tennessee. Do you remember Barnes around the left side? He got a decent amount of yardage.
They weren't running outside at all.
They don't. It's like they didn't. Here's what it looks like from an let's just say from an average fan. You look at the defense and you're like, wow, that defense prepared. They play a lot of guys. They don't have drop offs when they bring in freshmen. I mean, this looks like a well-oiled machine. Offense can't snap the ball, lose yards on first down, call plays that you're just baffling your head, got the wrong quarterback playing, got wide receivers blocking that are 5'11", and then they have bigger guys not blocking on a run play. It's just like, okay, it doesn't, for me, it doesn't look like they're prepared for the game. That's why I've said, hey, I got to put that on somebody. And if you're coaching the offense, who's preparing these players? You can bash players all you want. But at some point, if you're not preparing them for the game, that's a problem too.
Jay, there's no coaching on the sidelines on the offensive side of the ball.
Give me in the last 2 years. Levy was there 2 years, and Seth Luttrell's first year. I want you to name right now, in your opinion, offensive players that have improved quite a bit.
No, there hasn't been any, Jay.
So what is that the players' fault? Are they not any good, or is it coaching?
Jay, I already had this discussion with you.
Name a few on the offensive line that have gotten better in that group with Howland, Ozida, Joshua Bates, Jake Taylor, Jacob Sexton. Name any of those that you think have gotten massively better.
There have been some guys who have got better on the O-line in the past. None of them are on this year's team. OU didn't run any counter. OU's not going to. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. And at the end of the day, Mark's right. It's going to be BB's fault. It is.
Hey, look at Dr. Ball back in here. Appreciate it, Dr. Ball. He's asking, heard y'all have a cornerback that might be hey, he's a really good he's a really good wide receiver out of Mustang.
He was in high school.
He was in high school, but he's playing cornerback. And do they move him to wide receiver? I don't think they do. And you know what's frustrating about the whole situation? And this is where, again, I'm going to say what's going on the offensive side of the ball coaching. Here's the reason. Here, we're game 5, and you're going to bring in cornerback to play receiver in a receiver room that is filled with depth, apparently.
Yeah.
Right?
And, no, hey, I'm not gonna sit here and argue this all night, Brian, but Brent Venables, what he's done with the defense is unbelievable.
Yeah.
The problem is he made a bad hire as an offensive coordinator this year.
Hey, people asking about Steve Stutzman. He's traveling. He usually flies back on Sunday. He's traveling, and I think something with the family.
Had a family engagement.
We'll get him back on here. Don't worry about it. He'll be back on to talk about the game. It should be BB fault.
Oh, I agree. It is.
Yeah. It's all going to fall on BB no matter what. He made the hire.
But, Jay, I'm going to say my main issue with Seth Luttrell. You ready for it? This is my main issue with Seth Luttrell.
What's that?
They have all these injuries, and I get it. Injuries. Blah, blah, blah. If all 3 of my wide receivers are 5'10", 5'8", 100 nothing, I'm not running wide receiver screens where they're blocking. I'm changing things. They haven't changed anything. They're running the same offense like they still have 6'2" guys out there blocking. They don't stand a chance, Jay.
Yeah. Hey, Matt, love the confidence. No, I don't see any chance that happening. What's excuses?
Who's making excuses?
I'm not making any excuses. Maybe he's talking about OU making excuses. I don't know. Let's go back to Brent Venables, though. Somebody said the Brent Venables thing. He hired Jeff Levy, and Jeff Levy, had coached offense. I get it. But you're looking at now, and I'm just saying from my perspective, you've hired two guys that used to be with OU. Look on the defensive side. How many guys have you hired on the defensive side of the ball that used to be with OU or OU guys?
Not many, Jay. Any?
Is there one?
I don't think so, Jay.
Okay. Offensively, is there? Every one of them.
Every one of them.
I think you have to. If you get rid of Seth, you got to go outside and get somebody. Somebody not with the program.
Look, they lost
Brandon Hall. Brandon Hall, maybe. Maybe you could say that.
Hey, they lost Jeff Levy, Jay. Killed. And for me, I see another comment in here. Hey, Crystal, they had Petaway, another guy who was sitting on the bench. That's who they had. Who else caught a ball? It was Petaway.
Yeah.
It was Petaway. So, I mean, maybe I guess he should have been playing over Burks. I don't know. I mean.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's not like they had all kinds of receivers.
BV ain't worried about the offense, y'all. He always reverts it back to his defense and his press. But he should be worried about the offense, Sooner Cowboys. That falls on him. He's the head coach now.
Wait, Sooner Cowboy, I'm going to call you out a little bit here. No offense, but how you say he's always deflecting it and reverting back to defense. Did you listen to the postgame presser?
Yeah, he's pretty ticked off.
He ripped into the offense.
Well, something's got to change offensively. It's got to change. It's got to get better. But here it is, game 5, and we've talked. What?
They've got to do it now. They can't wait.
How much can Michael Hawkins change this offense, in your opinion?
I think he can.
To what extent?
To what we saw yesterday, where they can at least get some sustained drives because he keeps his legs always in play, escapability. Maybe the opening route's not there, but he can extend the play. And I think Jacoby Johnson, if Anderson's going to be out, you have to move someone.
And maybe if Anderson's out and Anthony's out for sure, and Burks is still hurt, you probably have to. That's when you say it's you got too many injuries. That'd be 6 receivers out.
Don't throw stupid interceptions and don't all that stuff, and you're going to be in the games.
Yeah, let me say something though on this BV on the offense. I'm tired of watching it. Let me say something about this. If I said this in the Discord today, go back. I don't know if you have it on demand or not. If you go back and watch some of the coaches shows, some of the press conferences, different things that Brent Venables has been on in a small clip, and you puzzle it together and piece it together, it sounds like he's pretty ticked off about the offense and the fact that guys aren't practicing, nagging injuries. He pretty much he didn't call Petaway out last week on the press conference, but he said he was talking about Petaway's injury, how the trainer came up to him on Wednesday and said he can't practice. And basically they were game planning during the week. And then on Saturday, he said they came to him and said he's ready to go full speed. And Brent Venables goes, as a linebacker, I said, I don't understand that. Like I think he's frustrated with the offense in a lot of ways. You can maybe use the word soft, because right now, if you want to use a word to describe the offense, that's one word I would use. They seem pretty soft to me.
Hey, thanks for the super, Chandler Matthews. Looks like you won the bet in the house divided. Hey, I'm not going to – the Schmitty stuff, in my opinion, is a horrible take. No one can control Kendall Dobie's dislocated ankle. I will say this. If you want to blame anything, I'm getting ready to say it, Jay. When you say soft, you know what I think soft? These guys getting paid, that's part of the issue. I
don't want to get into that.
Hey. Yeah, I'm going to get into it, Jay.
Well, is that the reason Arnold played so long?
No, what I'm saying is if a guy's like, well, yeah, I'm hurt. He's getting paid. Who cares? On his.
Okay, real quick, I got to address something. Bobby Redwine. Jaron, let me talk for a second. There's been a lot of people saying this. Schmitty's the issue. If Schmitty is the issue, tell me right now, drop it in the chat, please. Why does the defense have hardly any injuries and no nagging injuries?
Thank you.
And they're out there hitting people left and right, and the offense is the one with all their injuries, and they're all nagging injuries. Why is that? Does that make any sense? Maybe not. I have no clue on this. But maybe the defense is a tougher unit.
There's no maybe about it, Jay.
And
They're bought in.
I'm not, listen, I am not at practices. I don't know the story. But it just looks like you have a lot of nagging injuries on offense. And the only defensive injuries are guys that are out for a decent amount of time because they actually like dislocated their leg. I mean, so answer that question.
Yeah, I mean, if it was all across the board, you could say Smitty. But the defense is very, very good, very, very physical.
You know what? Maybe happened. I hate to say this. Gosh, maybe I shouldn't.
You're acting like me, Jay. Hey,
well,
quick.
maybe the defense whipped them all offseason, and maybe they're done. They're tired of practicing against that defense. I know that sounds bad and it sounds soft, but dadgummit, they seem soft offensively. The offensive line seems really soft. The running back, other than Tatum and Barnes, Barnes runs freaking hard. I'll give him that. Wide receivers, other than Burks, they look really soft. Maybe the offensive line got demolished by the defensive line all off season.
Yeah, and hey, I got to say that Crystal, I think Crystal's the one that said it. First, I'm going to go, listen, Lou says maybe the line will want to block, play harder. That's an absolute – the line's been part of the issue. Like, if they're not blocking very well because they don't like the quarterback, that's awful, ridiculous. I will say this, Crystal, I'm super excited about Michael Hawkins. If you watch the video we put out earlier, the touch pass showed me a lot. I love the scramble where he rolls out. Brennan Thompson's coming across his face. He points at Brennan Thompson to go to the corner of the end zone. Brennan Thompson doesn't. But that showed to me this guy has some – he's scrambling and pointing downfield to tell the guy to get open in the corner. And then, of course, his speed, I think, is something I noticed. I'm very excited about Michael Hawkins.
I'm pumped about Michael Hawkins. I'm pumped about Michael Hawkins. Rob says iron should sharpen iron. It should. And you heard Brent Venables say they went more good on good this year, which is ones on ones. But it doesn't seem to have helped.
Hey, Lincoln, OU started last night with split backs. That's how they started. And they didn't go to it a lot after that.
Bauer Sharp, not the answer, every down tight end.
No, Devon Mitchell.
I said this on a video right now, earlier today. I'm going to list some guys. I'm going to list some guys for the people in the chat. Tell me what you think as a portal get. Spencer Brown, offense. Okay. Bauer Sharp, offense. Michael Tarquin, offense. Garen Hatchett, offense. Branson Hickman, offense. Jake Roberts, offense. Deion Burks. That's 7. I could probably say 1 right now that's making a difference, and that's Deion Burks.
And Dominique Williams, who they got on defense, is
I wasn't talking defense. I was talking about that's a lot of, to me, that's a lot of guys that you went in to get to make playing time that aren't making much of a difference. Now, Jake Roberts in the Houston game made a difference. Other than that, they haven't. They're not guys that have just come in and you're like, wow, that's they've really stepped up their game there.
I am a little bit, and Jay, I've been kind of saying it the last couple of weeks. I don't understand the love with Michael Tarquin.
Yeah, I'm not sold either, Jeremy. But here's the thing, Jeremy.
He held his own against Pierce.
But
Jeremy,
have
you seen him just demolish a guy?
It doesn't matter. Here's the deal. They went out and got Michael Tarquin and Spencer Brown. Jake Taylor's hurt. They don't have anybody else. It's not going to get better. Hey, I'm nuts. You ready for it?
To tackle and get EPL in the game. He's the nasty guy you got.
You ready for it? I'm nuts. Name 3 OCs that can come in and improve the offseason this offseason. I'll say Willie Corn. I'll say Brandon Marion. And the one I really like that I would go after, Robbie Zale, I would go after ASAP from South Alabama. Robbie Zale been in the Alabama system for a while. Robbie Zale, I would go after him before another big-time school gets him. Those are 3 young guys that are outside the program that I think are good offensive coordinators and coach quarterbacks, by the way.
Hey, Sooner fan, no, I'm not blind, actually. I was blind to Jackson Arnold's ways, but I'm not blind. I won't disagree. Tarquin's been maybe arguably the best lineman OU has, and it's not saying much. Is there any nasty in him? That's my question. Any of these guys?
Hey, that's what I'm saying. South Alabama, Rob Azale, I love him. And then Kajagoda says Joey Hosel for the NC for the next coordinator. Here's my problem with that. He's an OU guy. I don't think you can go get an OU guy. I like Joey Hosling. I don't think you can go get another OU
if
guy.
You want someone under Heupel? Apparently, the analyst, Jack Lowry is at OU right now. He knows that offense.
But Jeremy, I think Brent Venables probably needs to go outside of an OU guy.
Jack Lowry would be outside of OU though.
I know, but
yeah, I'm talking about an interim, Jay. I'm talking about if they got rid of Seth today.
They're not firing anybody during the season. Chief, thanks for the super. If we don't open up the checkbook for every big name O-line out there, committed or not, in high school or portal, we aren't serious about winning. Here's the thing. Bill Beatenbow had a good recruiting class last year, offensive line, and he has one this year with Fasusi. They need Babaloa. Here's the thing, though. Go to the 2 years before that. Bill Beatenbow he had 2 bad years of offensive line recruiting, and it's showing now. And then you also put into that, you miss with the portal. I think it's showing up.
Jay, you think there's massive news tomorrow, or is it going to be Jacoby Johnson?
I have no clue. I don't know about. I think Jacoby Johnson is really athletic and a really good wide receiver. But also, I think they have a lot more issues than just a wide receiver coming in. I just do. They can't even snap the ball half the time. Tell me this. Tell me right now, count on your fingers if you want to, figure it out. How many times has OU lined up in a play, looked over, checked, and made an adjustment and called a different play?
It hasn't been much, Jay.
And there's been plenty of times where they've lined up and they look.
Change it to, Jay.
What?
I don't think they know what to change it to.
But when you have man-on-man coverage on a wide receiver, maybe change it. To me, here's what it looks like. It looks like this to me. And I know people may disagree. It looks like to me Seth Luttrell's over his head.
It does look like that, Jay. And Sooner fan says you think Mark Rogers' shocking news is going to be good or bad for OU. I don't know, but I don't know. I agree with the hub. I don't know if Seth Luttrell makes it through the season. This could be a Mike Stoops thing, Curtis Bolton. That was a different scenario and different reason, but I could see that. And to me, if the University of Oklahoma is just asking for, well, these guys are, they're not getting beat every play. What are we talking about? Like,
hey, the bomb. It's not only the first snap of yesterday's games. The first 4 games, the first drives. I'm thinking, did they watch film all week? I mean, the first 2 games, you run the same play on first down to start the game. Hey, real quick. Mess. Great idea. How?
Well, I got one idea.
Where are you going to run the what?
I got one idea. Run outside the tackles.
Well, that'd be a start.
But one carry outside the tackles and got about 20 yards.
I will tell you another thing I have an issue with. You ready for it? And this falls on Seth Luttrell, and I think it falls on Bill Beatenbow. And it's this. Anybody that watches football, and I think coaches in general would say this. The offensive line, it's about talent, but also it's about chemistry and cohesion, right? I mean, you would say that. Why is there so many? If they would have played Heath Azida or they would have played Josh Bates in game 1 at center and just rode him, the other guys have been injured all year. What's to say Hickman's going to be uninjured in week 8? He'll still probably be banged up. Pick a guy, pick 5 that are healthy, that will be healthy, you can count on, and give him some experience.
Let me ask you something, Jay. You said no OU guy, and I know you're going to rip me for this. Kel Gundy knows a lot of the players on this team.
What about? I mean, he's not on the team. He's not a coach anymore.
I'm saying if they went and got him, you wouldn't like that?
Jimmy, I'd be fine with that. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't even think it's the thing. I mean, what are you going to do? Fire a guy and then come back in 2 years? I mean,
Jay, I promise you Brent Venables didn't want to get rid of him.
I don't know the story, Jeremy. I have no clue. I don't know. I mean,
and I'm going to say it right now. I wouldn't be shocked if it happened.
Let me ask you this. Let's say every O-lineman was healthy. Is it possible that they're just still not very good? Yes, that's possible. But you know what? If they were in game 4 and they had all played together for 4 games, they would be a lot better than they are now.
Troy.
Hey, Troy.
If I am so tired.
He was probable last week.
Guys, that injury report, that was 9 guys probable. Guess how many played?
Oh, the amount I said? No, they had three.
Nick Anderson.
Nick Anderson, Branson Hickman, and
Nick
Kendall Dolby.
Anderson went out.
And Kendall Dolby. I was right. I said 3, I believe.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Hey, let's stop with the big news, the stuff.
We don't even know what it is. Like
that was somebody put it in here. Does a chat? Somebody put it on chat. I'm not going to address rumors. I have no clue, even if they would do it. That could be Trevor trying to pump up his show. I mean, come on. That could be something like Nick Anderson's out for the year. Who knows? But let's stop.
Or Andrew Anthony, which wouldn't be a shock. I did see Deshaun McCullough in full uniform last night.
Yeah. But hey, Lou Becker says they won't fire Seth in season. Now they're trying Hawkins. I agree. And Hawkins coming in now is going to give Seth kind of like, okay, let's see what you can do with Michael Hawkins. But going back to the game the other day when Michael Hawkins came in, he was still getting pressure up the middle. A lot of the stuff that he did was all on him. It wasn't like Seth changed the offense. Now, hey, I will say this. He can for sure read defenses, I think, better than Jackson Arnold. Jackson Arnold on the zone reads and stuff would hand it off when he shouldn't have, would not hand it off when he should have. It was bad. And that's his offense he ran in high school. I'm baffled by Jackson. I'm baffled by Jackson Arnold.
I agree. I agree with what Crystal said. The young guy should be playing on the O-line too. Branson Hickman, to me, they would have been better off with Bates yesterday.
Yeah, and I agree with Bobby here. Go look at the defensive side of the ball and look at the development. Guys, Trace Ford the other day looked really good.
I can't believe I'm saying it. He was amazing.
I mean, that one move, he went under that guy and went in there and got the sack fumble. That was a power move.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something, though. And XD Scott says Seth's not the issue as much as Jackson Arnold. Here's what I would say to that. Let me answer this because I was high on Jackson Arnold. Jackson Arnold was unbelievably bad. It was pitiful. However, let me ask you this, XD Scott. Who was the quarterback in the third and fourth quarter? What were some of the plays called? I was literally almost pulling my hair out. One, a couple of runs up the middle that were just unbelievable calls. There's still no imagination.
Yeah, and hey, Cracker Mac, we addressed this earlier. Let me say this. Ward Seth was running an offense suited to Jackson Arnold, not what he wanted to run. I think what you're saying there is even more reason that doesn't even look worse because he's running an offense that the quarterback wants to run and they still look that bad. Isn't that make him look worse? If he can't get an offense that Jackson Arnold wants to run and Jackson Arnold digressed and got worse?
Yeah.
I mean.
And listen, I know we don't want to get into this, but Orc Boomer agrees with me here. When you start paying athletes, those who just aren't super passionate about the university and the game itself, they're just there to collect a paycheck. They don't really care about, I'll play or I won't. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
It's a problem, Jay. It's a problem. It's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, I just got a tweet came out. This is from Sam Humphreys, Sports Animal. He is the host of the, I think, middle of the day show.
Breaking news. We need a breaking news
alert. Jim Traber says, getting out ahead of the rumors and comments. Y'all say a prayer for Jim Traber. Traber is not ducking the show tomorrow. He went to the hospital out of caution this afternoon to help clean up his infected leg. Hope to have him back ASAP. So he kind of said there is rumors and he's not ducking it, but he won't be there tomorrow, Jim Traber. I don't know what that means. I'm just telling you what the tweet says.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like something's going to be announced tomorrow, Jay.
Not from OU. Not from OU football. Don't. Not from OU football.
No.
And by the way, Jim Traber's leg last week looked awful.
Guys, what I was saying, Jay, before you interrupted me,
sorry,
is there's no need to even try to speculate what it is in anything. So
no.
Hey, Sooner fans know the problem is Seth Luttrell. So let's say again, Jay, I'm going to say a couple plays. I love the 2-point conversion of Petaway. That was a great design. There was a couple rollouts they did with Hawkins. They even did it with Arnold. They would roll out the quarterback. They'd have an option to hit the tailback out of the flat, or they would just continue. Hawkins made a great decision, just run the ball at that point. But outside of that, Jay, was there anything you went? I mean, even Kirk Herbstreit last night. Kirk Herbstreit last night, when Jackson Arnold threw a fly pattern to Brennan Thompson and he landed about 3 yards out of bounds, Kirk Herbstreit said, I don't even know what they were going to do there. It's one-on-one. He's not beating his man. He's not going to go up and get the ball. Like, that play design was bad.
Yeah. Crystal says, only knock I have on Hawkins, he talked about how good this was for his career. Let's talk about the team. Maybe nothing, but I think he's a good guy. He's a very humble guy, I think. He's probably confident, though. But, hey, real quick, I want to address something on the Seth Luttrell running Jackson Arnold offense out of high school, or Levy's offense. You know what? We're fans. We do not. I have no clue what they told Seth Luttrell when he came in there to run the offense and what they said. They might have very well said, Seth, we want to keep it consistent with what Jackson Arnold, he's our quarterback, run the offense he knows. That very well might have been said. I'm just going to say that you're right. That could have been said. But here's what I'm saying. If that's the case and Jackson Arnold looks this bad, who do you blame? I mean, to me, that still falls on Seth Luttrell, does it not? If that's the Jackson Arnold's offense that he knows and it looks this bad, or do you say, well, not really, because Seth Luttrell doesn't know how to call that offense? But still, I don't know. It's a tough thing, man. It's a tough thing.
When you become a coordinator, you've got to run what you know. You cannot run what someone else ran.
I agree.
You don't have a feel for that offense because that's not your offense. That was a bad decision if that's the truth. And Ben says Seth got his pink slip last night. Jackson tried to hand it to him but fumbled it.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Jagoda said turf manager the turf is getting. Tennessee fans are lighting up the turf. They're saying it was so bad.
Hey, looks can be deceiving. It did look green. I think they spray painted it because it was bad. They let it grow long.
Hawkins creates his own positive plays because he's elusive. He does. There was a couple times the rush came right up the middle. He just stepped out of it, and he looked pretty confident. And the Hub says, Seth.
And he still made some mistakes, like the 16 or 26-yard loss.
Hey, here's the thing. The Hub says, Seth is the OC at Oklahoma. Get better or get out. If you go back to last year, we did, I think, 3 or 4 videos, and we did a video on each of the ones that we thought were candidates to come to Oklahoma as OCs. And I remember saying, the door for people to come to Oklahoma, they're lined up at the door to be OC at Oklahoma. They are. With Brent Venables at the helm, you have a good defensive coach. People will line up to come be the OC at Oklahoma. And they went out and got Seth Luttrell. That's what they did. That's on BV. He made that hire. And I even said earlier this year that might make or break BV's career at Oklahoma. I think he's going to have to make a move pretty quickly. At the end or whatever. If there's no improvement offensively, you can't stick with it. It might set you back a few years if you do. If you're wrong. Now, if you're right, you look good. But if you're wrong, it doesn't.
Chief says one thing that was obvious last night is how important blocking is. Hey, listen. Wide receivers and tight ends, they're actually jogging by people and letting the guys go right. Like, I am just miffed at what I've seen as far as physicality on offense.
Physicality is not there. You have a very physical defense and a very not physical offense. Go get Tim Beck, Senior Freak says. Matt Rose says, what elite OCs? The guy I really like just right now that I love is Robbie Zale out of South Alabama. That's my guy right now. I'm going to ride or die with Robbie Zale.
Hey, Vols all day. Arnold's head's messed up. I put in the Discord today, guys. I put some names in there like Steve Sachs, Chuck Knobloch, Rick Ankiel, Nick Folk, the kicker. Jackson Arnold's there. I mean, mentally, he's got the yips. Big shout out to the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com. Check them out. Sign up for your team's Shirt of the Month Club. Use code SURGE. Get 10% off the first 3 months. You also got the Upside Down Longhorn hat at thefanstop.com. Check them out. You won't be disappointed. Reader, thanks for the super. Gabe on the breakdown was destroying the trail scheme. Yeah, it's horrible. Makes no sense.
Yeah, but then at the same time, I heard Teddy say you can't blame the play calling. So I don't know what it is. I do know You can't
Scheme,
run the
not
ball.
play calling. It's
I
both.
do know. I do know this. After watching the first 3 games against 3 bad teams offensively and seeing OU try to run the ball up the middle, what in heaven's name do you think you're going to be able to run the ball up the middle against Tennessee's defensive front? With a center who's back after a 3-week injury
Hey,
as your center man.
I don't want to say. I hate speculation, Jay. I absolutely do. But I'm going to say my opinion here, so please get ready for it. Okay? The answer is Hawkins. I'm nuts. Hawkins is starting. He deserves to start, so you have to start him. That would be horrible disservice to him. Hey, there is no chance that Seth Luttrell, Joe John Finley, Bill Beatenbow, Emmett Jones, DeMarco Murray are sitting in a offensive meeting and getting along right now. And they haven't been for 4 weeks. There's issues. My opinion.
I mean,
because someone's got to get in there and say, okay, look, like if I'm Bill Beatenbaum, I'm saying, stop calling plays up the middle. Let's run where our strengths are.
But Jeremy, he game plans too for the game as an offensive line coach.
Okay, that's my point. I don't know who's game planning. I don't know how much discussion is going on. I'm not in the room. I'm just saying there's no way they're all getting along.
Well, Jeremy, I don't care if they're all getting along or not. You know what? I like to see some development from some of those guys on the offensive.
And I hate to say this, Jay, I'm tired of hearing Seth Luttrell's post game. You know what he says every time? I'm gonna be Seth Luttrell right now.
All right.
At the end of the day, we just got to be better. Like it was funny. He said, "I'm not here to throw Arnold and guys under the bus." BV did. BV's fed up with it.
Hey, and Bobby, first off, the Auburn comment, if we lose next week, the Sooner Nation will be uproar. Yeah, if they lose to Auburn, you're right. But they might. Bobby says, what happened to BB and Luttrell, our brother-in-laws and BFFs? They are. And I think here's part of the problem. Is
I said a lot of names besides those 2 names.
Hey, but real quick, I think that's part of the issue is that Sooner fans in the offseason, this was talked about how their relationship, also the way they run the ball, it's going to be a better scheme for Bill Beatenbow. It's the worst offensive scheme they've had in 25 years at Oklahoma, 30 years. I mean, it is.
So right now, Jay, with Hawkins moving forward, if you were coordinating this team, and I'll put it in there to all the Surgeaholics, if you're coordinating this team, are you running different scheme?
If I'm the coordinator and it's my team, I'm running what I know how to run. I'm not running.
I'm saying now with Hawkins, are you going to change anything before Auburn? I'd run a lot more quarterback reads. I would run a lot more option. I would roll out all day long. I would take deep shots.
Okay, but real quick, I got to get to something. First, Matt.
Outside
Joe John Finley is absolutely disgusted with Seth Luttrell. Joe John Finley needs to worry about coaching the tight ends. Because the tight ends don't look good. Second thing is this. Kedja, we're back on this. Because Luttrell's running a Levy-style scheme for Jackson Arnold. Why?
That's what he was told to do.
So if he's told to do that, then I'm sorry, somebody's got to take the blame for that. Here's the thing. Let's get to Reader's Hunt, and I'm going to go back to it. 2021 class, Savion Byrd, Colin Montgomery. 22 class, Jake Taylor, Jacob Sexton. Yeah, you can mention Logan Howland and Jacob Zida in 2023. Those guys, they haven't panned out, guys, offensive line. And then the portal guys haven't panned out.
Hey, Bobby, I was wrong on that. I mean, I thought
I was wrong on that. I
thought Bill Beatenbow and Seth Luttrell, with the physical kind of nature that they are, dude, ban him again. Ban that guy again. I thought that it would be better. It's awful. It's awful.
I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, okay. Yeah, he did find open receivers, but I think 2 things can be true. I think Hawkins is going to make the offense better. I think he's going to read the zones better than Jackson Arnold. Whether or not they change the offense or not. But let's just say offseason, you got Dylan Gabriel, you got Jackson Arnold, you got Seth Luttrell, who you just hired to replace Jeff Levy. You're all in a room. Dylan Gabriel's leaving. I mean, BB saying what? Jackson Arnold, we're going with Jackson Arnold. You're going to run the offense that fits Jackson Arnold. Is that what people are saying's happened? You're going to keep it the Levy offense. If we hire you, you got to keep it Levy's offense. Is that what we're saying happened? Is that what people are saying? I don't know.
What
I'm
a
just
lot of
asking.
people are alluding to, Jay.
So they're saying that BV said, we're going to keep Joe John Finley as OC because he knows Jeff Lebby's offense. I'm just walking through this. Wait. He knows Jeff Lebby's offense. We'll put him at co-OC. And then we'll have Seth the Trill be a co-OC with him and run Jeff Lebby's offense. Here's my issue with that. I don't see Jeff Lebby's offense at all in this. That's the issue I have. This does not look like a Jeff Lebby offense.
No, it doesn't, Jay.
So that's my issue. If this is a Jeff Lebby offense, and Seth the Trill's running a Jeff Lebby offense,
or actually,
why does it not look like a Jeff Lebby offense?
It may look like a Jeff Lebby offense with all kinds of C-teamers. Because the receiver core, the quarterback, C-teamers.
Hey, I don't know what's true on any of this, but I will say this. There's bound to be frustrations.
And that's what I said earlier.
And I hope there is, or otherwise you have no competitive people in there. You got to get on people's, you got to start yelling at each other in a good way. Otherwise, okay, then that's my problem right there, could you go to? If he doesn't know how to run it, then what are we doing? I mean, that's something's got to.
But
that's
all
ridiculous.
of this all of this in here is I think.
I agree.
This happened. Like it's.
I agree.
Yeah, we actually saw the injuries change how Josh Heupel called plays last night.
Yeah. I believe, aren't the Vols off this week? I think they're off, aren't they? Or is Arkansas? I know they play Arkansas next. I can't remember if it's a week off or
that to me, that's 100%.
False. There's a lot of rumors coming on here tonight.
Hey, that's 100% false because if you ask every player that's ever talked about Jackson Arnold said he's a humble leader.
Yeah, that's what this is. And hey, we've said it many times. This is not an insider channel. We don't know inside information. This is a fan channel. And it's a place
where you guys. For the viewers, we show comments, and
that's what we are. So
what we all want to talk about.
Bye then Razorbacks. Great bye week probably for them after beating OU. Now, OU needs the bye week in a bad way.
Leanne, Willie Corn was the name Jay wanted last year.
That's the guy I wanted last year, but they didn't do it, and probably didn't. And two, could you go to it and some of these other people's comments? I do think what they had at quarterback might have played into the fact of who they went and got. I'm not going to deny that. I think that's what happens when you have 5-star quarterbacks. You're like, we got Jackson Arnold. We don't want to go get this guy. It may not fit Jackson Arnold's style. That does happen. And if Brent Venables and them thought that Jackson Arnold's the next stud quarterback, there's a chance that maybe he's just not as good as we thought he was. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, Jackson Arnold is a good guy. And I hope I hope he figures out mental stuff.
And here's the thing. These are still 19, 20-year-old people. And I know it's changed with NIL because they get paid, but I don't like just bashing players. I mean, I'll say they did a bad job. I don't have any problem saying Jackson Arnold did a bad job.
First, Vols all day were identical twins. Second, Selwyn. The answer to making the running game better, I think they've got to go outside. The quarterback's got to run the ball a lot to help kind of relieve the defense's ability to just attack because they know who's getting the ball.
You know what else you have to have? You have to have a tight end not whiff on blocks.
Yeah, you can't whiff on blocks, Jay.
And that's happened quite a bit. So,
yeah.
Have you seen one guy on the offensive line or tight end just go around and just blow somebody off the ball? It doesn't happen. There's no intensity or drive. You don't see anybody on the offensive line like looking at each other mad or anything. It's just after getting whipped. Like here's an example. I could probably see 3 or 4 times last night where literally the defensive guy, and we're not talking like some scrub defensive guy. We're talking about the Tennessee defensive line who are awesome, that are running free reign at your quarterback. Nobody touches. Why is there not an O-lineman ripping into somebody else there saying, are you going to block him? Or if the running back makes a mistake, how come nobody's ripping into them?
Jay,
show some passion out there, offense.
EPL has to play this week, in my opinion. Gavin Sawchuk had a carry or two, same as he's had all year. 1 or 2 carries, 0 yards.
Hey, you know what? I know Tatum might be out. He had a concussion, I think, after the game. Who knows when he gets back? Give me Caleb Hicks. See what he can do.
I don't think you're going to see him, Jay.
Well, who are you going to play then? Barnes and Sawchuk?
Jay, the blocking. scheme and blocking. It doesn't matter who's back there, Jay.
I agree. But
Taylor Tatum was getting all he could. He was getting maybe 2 or 3 yards.
Hey, Chester, I know nobody wants to talk about the Big 12 because OU's in the SEC, but let me tell you this. With this offense, this team might go 7-5 in the Big 12. Maybe.
Has Bill Beatenbow called plays before, Jay?
Bill's not calling plays. He's not.
Bill Beatenbow was just a running game coordinator, I believe. Sam Franklin did play. He played. Yeah.
Played one snap. One snap. He got one carry anyway. I don't know how many snaps.
Yeah.
I only brought it up because somebody else brought it to SEC. He called the Oregon game. No, Kel Gundy called the Oregon game.
Kel Gundy called the Oregon game in the bowl game.
9 snaps for Franklin. I think 1 carry, I believe.
Lori, our dad has a biopsy Wednesday. Doesn't look very good as far as maybe where the cancer is metastasized to, but keep him in your prayers. Yep, OU is in LSU, last game of the year. And LSU's got a couple wins now, Jay.
But I still don't think LSU's great. I mean, they're nothing. I'm surprised the O-line coach is still being praised. Maybe he should do better. Easy money. He's got to do better. The fact of the matter is, every coach on the offensive side of the ball, tell me right now who's doing a good job. Go for it. In your opinion, I think the only position group you can say that they're doing a really good job would be running backs, and that's only because
not doing a really good job.
But it's only because you can't judge a whole lot off the O-line. I don't think there's any position group really, but I'm just saying receivers haven't looked good, tight ends haven't looked good, offensive.
There's nobody. Hey,
nobody.
Perkins,
you're
LSU, right. Yeah, Perkins out for the season. Crystal says the hurricane may be going to affect the game. I don't think it gets all the way to Bama.
Here's Selwyn. I understand he's coached with BV. That's my point, though. You got to go outside of your little group that you have of coaches. You need to go outside and get somebody else. And you know what? I said this to somebody today, and I'll say it to everybody on here. I don't understand it. Lincoln Riley was one defensive coordinator away from winning a national title at OU. He was. He is that good offensive. Brent Venables is a defensive-minded coach. I am paying big-time money, and I'm saying, what is the one offensive guy I do not want to face? He runs the best offense. Come be the offensive coordinator at OU. We'll pay you a lot of money. You call plays. You handle it. I don't have to mess with it. You handle it. Why do these coordinators that are head coaches, like Lincoln Riley, go get a great defensive coordinator, Lincoln. You'd be awesome. Brent Venables, get an awesome offensive coordinator.
To me, Adam, I mentioned this to Hunter and Jay earlier. Me personally, one of those two guys is playing outside. And I see the Jake Spavital. Here's the deal. I'm not a huge Spavital fan. Didn't he go to West Virginia too, Jay?
Trying to remember.
I believe he was at West Virginia. There was other Spavital that was at A&M, or was that Jake? But
now, you know what? This is an interesting one. Pay him a bunch of money and just say, come coach offense. What do you think about that? Chris Peterson.
No, he's too old.
He's about like Chip Kelly.
He's about like Seth Luttrell. Is he even in the game?
No, I'm just saying a guy like that.
Offenses have changed since then.
I'm just saying a guy like that.
Though. I loved his imagination.
I'm saying a guy like that, Jeremy, that you could say, hey, come be OC, call plays, do what you do best.
Now, if you want to say interim or something like that.
No, they're not going to do interim.
A guy who's been out of the game.
Hey, let me bring up an example. I know I'm not at all comparing Brent Venables to Nick Saban, so do not come at me with it. But go look at Nick Saban's staffs over the last 10 years. When he went and got offensive coordinators, it was somebody outside of Alabama. It was somebody who was known in the coaching world. I mean, Steve Sarkisian, Lane Kiffin. I mean, you could go down the list. He went and got dudes, and they came and coached. All his analysts were ex-coaches or ex-coordinators.
Hey, Garrett
he
Riley,
built a great staff around him.
Garrett Riley, who was at TCU, now at Clemson.
Who said that, Mr.
Vols Nation?
Oh. Yeah, I think the Riley stuff with Lincoln, there's no shot of that.
Yes,
hey,
Mr. Dillingham, he called the hook and lateral. He called the Statue of Liberty.
Hey, the Hub says go ask Bob who to hire. They probably already did with Seth. Don't you think he was part of it? I mean, don't you think he helped?
Sure.
I don't know.
Tatted Sailor, thanks for becoming a Sooner Surge Unlimited member. And you've been active in the Discord, which, by the way, has been really active. My wife's like, are you ever going to get off the phone and have some conversations? Been pretty active in the Discord. She says I'm addicted.
Kevin Wilson, now at TU. That's another one, bringing another guy back. Listen, when Bob Stoops went and got a young guy that was an offensive mind, look what the offense did. That's what you're going to have. I'm going to say if again, if they go through this season and there's no improvement, then they're going to have to do something with Seth Luttrell. If they go 6-6 or 7-5 and the offense is bad, they're not going to keep it.
Hey, there's a name I love.
He's at Philadelphia Eagles now.
Is he?
Isn't he?
Hunter would know. He's an Eagle fan.
I think he's at the Eagles. Yeah.
I didn't think he had
he ain't coming to college football.
I didn't know he was the OC there. I thought he was just.
I'm telling you. Hey, if you want to go watch a fun offense, go turn on South Alabama and Robbie Zell.
We know, Jay.
Sorry,
you love Robbie Zell.
I do.
We get it. Thanks for the super. Luttrell scored lots of points at North Texas with a good quarterback. Yeah, Mason fine. Hey, I am going to say this, though, about the North Texas stuff. How many years ago was that?
It's been a while.
The game has changed. Defenses are different than they were 10 years ago when he was at North Texas. They're just different.
I agree. It's different. Yeah, hit the like button. Also, if you're on here, because a lot of y'all are on every night, some of you aren't. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. If you go hit the subscribe button on our channel and turn on your notifications every time we go live, which is every night at 9:30, you'll get a notification that we're on. If we send videos out, you'll get notification that we're on. So make sure you subscribe. It does help the channel too.
Yes, I was wrong. I said 10 years. It's been 6 to 8 years, 4 to 8 years. But it has changed even in that amount of time.
Hey, here's what we know. I mean, we're almost at an hour. Here's what we know, though. OU's 3-1. They have a game at Auburn, then they have a bye week. What you have to do if you're Oklahoma, you have to go beat Auburn. I don't care.
You got to find a way to beat Auburn.
I don't care if it's 13-10, which is a score I'm picking. I don't know who I'm picking to win yet. You got to win that game. You go to the bye week. You try to get better. This is not a team. If any OU fan thinks, I saw some in the chat, the OU is going to go out there Saturday and roll up 35 to 40 points. I just think you're getting your hopes way too high. I don't see enough on this offense that's going to say, wow, they got playmakers. They're going to change it all of a sudden. I just don't see it happening. You're going to have to get incrementally better. And then at the end of the year, reassess everything and see if Seth Luttrell did enough to keep his job. And do you have the quarterback in Michael Hawkins to get you there? That's going to be interesting.
I'm going to say something else because we've seen this in years past. OU's defense was absolutely elite against Tennessee. But can they do it back-to-back weeks against a lesser opponent? Or are they going to be kind of
like the mindset
of old where they weren't able to put things together consistently? They've got to play with that chip, that passion, and be what they hang the hat on.
Yeah, and hey, where is this? Dilligaff. I wanted last year. The top two guy on my list was Willie Korn and Brennan Marion. I wanted one of the two.
He's an Oklahoma guy. He played at TU, Jay.
Yeah, I like both of those offenses, but we'll see what happens over the next few weeks. I mean, especially this week. I mean, Auburn is kind of in the same boat as Oklahoma. Their offense looks pathetic. They've been changing quarterbacks twice. Here's the difference: Hugh Freeze is throwing his offense under the bus. If you watch his press conference, it's kind of weird. I don't like it the way he's doing it, but he's throwing him under the bus. We'll see who shows up on Saturday. If an offense can step up and make plays. The Auburn defense, they held Arkansas to 24, but they're not that good. Arkansas made plenty of issues. There was turnovers. And
if there's news tomorrow for some reason, I promise you, we'll be here to talk about it. We'll have our nightly live tomorrow at 9:30 because we do this every night. Chief, thanks for the super. Reader, thanks for the super. Chandler, thanks for the super. Scott, XD Ski Scott, thanks for the super. Appreciate it. Appreciate everyone. We'll continue to be active in the Discord for all the Sooner Surge Unlimited members.
Hey, thanks for the bomb the other day.
If you're not one of those unlimited members, join the Discord by looking at the link in the description and signing up for Sooner Surge Unlimited members.
That's right. I was going to say thanks for the bomb the other day for donating those 5 memberships. Appreciate it.
Really appreciate that, Bomb. Really appreciate it.
Hey, and Mess, he's speaking facts tonight. He says 12-0 is a no-go, fellas. Hey,
the first
Mess,
step is admitting you're wrong. Thank you, Mess.
We'll talk tomorrow night and see kind of what you think their new record will be. All right. Hey, you guys have a great night. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow.